All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Other Half Brewing Company, and they're out of both Brooklyn and Rochester, New York. And this is their Fruit Dream, and this is the Blackberry, Cascara, and Vanilla version. So this is a Berliner Weisse that is brewed with the aforementioned 3 ingredients, plus lactose, comes in at 4.2% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in the time of review. This can is approximately 2.5 months old. So I've reviewed one other beer in this series back, I want to say it was earlier this year, and it was the plum, cherry, and vanilla version. I really enjoyed it. So this one I actually grabbed at Aurora Brew Works in East Aurora, New York. They actually went to the brewery and brought back some beers, and I actually grabbed a 4-pack of this one, gave a couple to friends, and kept a couple for myself. So I have not had this one yet. I actually have 2 cans left, this one and one other. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing how this one is. So 2.5 months old, usually older than I typically review other half beers, but I've been sitting on this one for about a month and a half. When I picked it up, it was just under a month old. And yeah, I've been wanting to try this one for a while, but I've had so many hop forward beers that I need to get to before this one that's kind of just sat in the fridge for about 6 weeks. So anyway, let's give it a crack open here and pour it into the Tiku and go from there. Yeah, so Blackberry, Cascara, and Vanilla. Now, Cascara, I'm not too familiar with. I know it's kind of like the dried, skin of like the coffee fruit, or the fruit portion of the coffee, like the coffee beans from like an actual fruit, and it's the dried portion, I believe, of the dried skin portion of the fruit part of the coffee, where the bean comes from the coffee. So I can't say I've had it in too many beers. I've had it in a couple different beers, but I don't know what the actual taste of it is, the characteristic of it is, so not a big deal. Anyway, yeah, pours out like blackberry juice. Very like deep purple color. Had about a finger of a light purple head that is now dissipating to a thin film. Yeah, looks like a Berliner with fruit and vanilla and stuff in it. Yeah, it's good nose. So that's where so the Cascara, again, I don't know exactly what it is, but I always get like a slight spiciness from it. I had it in another Other Half beer, and it was an Imperial Stout, and I was getting like the spiciness, and that was the only thing that I could think in the ingredients list of that beer. I forget what beer it was, but I was just like, yeah, this is like not like a pepper spice, but like more like a coriander or something like that. Yeah, a little bit of spiciness there. Definitely blackberry in here. There's a mild tartness from the base Berliner, maybe a little bit of like light citrus qualities. Yeah, the vanilla, omnipresent. They're using lactose, they're using vanilla. So this kind of is like a blackberry creamsicle, but with like a spicy kick to it. Not really super tart. And a lot of the beers within this series, and just a lot of the so-called Berliner Weisses that Other Half brews, they usually don't have a huge tartness, mostly because they have about 70,000 different ingredients and adjuncts in it. So yeah, it smells pretty good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, that's really nice. Oh, so I don't know if it's because this is only the second beer I've had today, and one of the beers I had was an IPA, but I just got a really nice pop of like sourness in the back of the jaw. Let's go body, mouthfeel. Body, higher side of light body, lower side of medium body, 4.2%, 2 thumbs up. Mouthfeel, it's a little bit more carbonation than typical Other Half beers have in general, but it does have a nice, soft, smooth, creamy presence from the lactose. So body and mouthfeel, pretty nice. The taste is pretty much like a blackberry creamsicle with this slight spiciness, and I'm getting like a slight coffee character. And I don't remember that from the Cascara beers that I had. Like I've only had like 2 or 3, like I said. But it's giving me like this slight, almost acidic, slightly spicy coffee character. It's not really prevalent in the taste as much as it was in the nose, like that spiciness, but it's definitely there. It's just a different nuanced characteristic, subtlety to the beer that I can pick up on. Otherwise, I just say this is blackberry creamsicle personified. Super easy to drink, quite refreshing. Really nice blackberry character, this one. This has a high tartness, lower sourness, so this is actually a little bit more tart and sour than a lot of their Berliner Weisses on the palate. I'm left with a slightly dry but somewhat sweet finish. Not a lot of residual flavors, so to speak, on the palate. I'm not going to say it's clean. It just has like a little bit of like a blackberry sweetness on the finish. 4.2%, obviously, you know, it's 4.2%, doesn't even drink like a alcoholic beverage. Yeah, this is good. It's not my favorite in the series. I've had, I think, 3 in the series. It's not even like my favorite, just like, you know, adjunct Berliner Weisse that I probably had even in the last couple months. But this is really easy to drink. And yeah, if you like blackberry, you like vanilla, and you like Cascara, or you want a little bit of like a different kind of take on a Berliner Weisse, this would be, I think, up your alley. It's up my alley. I think it's a really good beer. So rating on the Fruit Dream Blackberry, Cascara, and Vanilla version, I'm gonna give it a high 4 out of 5. I'm gonna go 4.05. It's really good, but it's not overly complex. Doesn't need to be, and it's just, you know, it's nothing special. It's just a really well-made Berliner, fruited Berliner with vanilla, Cascara, you know, the whole 9, lactose and whatnot. I've had so many of these beers now that, like, I can kind of tell from my palate what I really do enjoy. And while I do enjoy this one, I don't think it's anything special. So just above 4 out of 5, 4.05 out of 5 for this one, I think is appropriate. Price and availability. I paid, I think, $5 for this can, which is a bit steep, but I bought it at East Aurora, or at Aurora Brew Works in East Aurora. And they went to the brewery, so they're going to jack it up $1. I believe these were $16 a 4-pack at the brewery, so $4 a can. Now, it's a 4.2% beer at $4 a can. Some of you might say, well, the value's not there, but look at the ingredients: blackberries, Cascara, vanilla, lactose. It's going to be more expensive. So I think at $16 a 4-pack, that's fair and appropriate value for this one. At $5 a can, a little bit high. I would never pay that again for this beer specifically. I did once for the 4-pack or whatever, so, you know, it happens. Availability, pretty much brewery only, like a lot of other half beers, although you will see them trickle into local bottle shops and distributors and stuff for people to buy. But yeah, for the most part, it's New York State unless you trade for it. So yeah, anyway, that was Fruit Dream, Blackberry, Cascara, and Vanilla. Gets a 4.05 out of 5. If you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Until the next one, cheers.